Hey everyone, Scott with Air Gunner Review. So I got something very exciting for you guys today of the long-awaited Byrna LE Law Enforcement Launcher. Finally arrived. Now I ordered this February 3rd and they seemed like they were in stock when I ordered it. And after waiting a month, I finally got a hold of them and say, hey guys, where is it? Where's my launcher? And they said that they had some problems with the manufacturing, that they found out-of-spec parts and it delayed it. And now it's even furthermore delayed if you check their website for any new ones. So you guys might be waiting a little while, but is it worth the wait? Well, let's open this up and take a look and see what's in here. The one thing that I was wondering the whole time, are they going to give you that deluxe case, or are they just going to give you some type of a box and disappoint? Because even though I never used the case, so it really didn't make much sense to me why I would care. But there's something about that case that is so luxurious that you just want to have it, right? So let's take a look at it. All right, so let's open this bad boy up here. And there she is. The same case as the original. Let me pull out. This was my SD model. And I just put it in the case just for good looks, of course. And yes, same case. I just love the case. There's something about those cases, I just love them. Anyhow, let's open it up and let's take a look at what we have in here. Oh, foam. Aha. Okay, well, that's what we have right there. It comes with the nice manual, and it's done very well, just like the first models. Your warranty registration, which I do recommend that you do. And this little guy, it has a little card that you can pull out to let people know that what it is. And yeah, so you pull this off like so, which I'm gonna do, and you keep this in your wallet. And you know, if you get yourself into a little trouble, and you can pull that out and say, hey, you know, this is not a firearm. Yeah, right there. Yeah. It kind of tricks you because it gave me the orange cover, so I'm thinking, did they screw up and give me the orange one? But they didn't. They gave me the black one, so I'm appreciative of that. And let's compare it with the original. However, the original one I put a skin on, so in that case it's different. And on this one I have the Byrna Boost. Now, the one thing that I don't like that they did on this would be that they used the Byrna Boost on here instead of just making this all one piece. Yeah, that would have been much more preferred. I think they cheapened that, and I expect the next one that comes out is going to be one piece. So that part of it I don't like. One thing that I found that I like better about this is the safety mechanism. This one is kind of hard. I don't know if you've got one, how it works, but this, see, it doesn't click or anything, and it's kind of hard to move. Now, maybe if I lightened it up, which I never bothered to do. Of course, I never used the safety on it because the first pull is so hard that why would you bother? But the first thing I noticed on this is, listen to that. Is so light and easy to use. So I really kind of like that. Same case, same everything else. So there's not much I can say about it. Oh, except, of course, a big thing is the sights. The sights do have the nice white on them. And if you look at the top, you can see where it's like a, I don't know what you call that, but it's like a filament that they put in here. And that is nice. What I did to mine is I just painted little white dots on there, and that seemed to work all right for mine. But this is an improvement. But again, you know, if they lost this part of it, you'd be able to see that front sight better. It's not pronounced enough because of it. I mean, it's there certainly, but I would have preferred it to not have all this on here. So that's my main complaint about it. Other than that, of course, these come with the 7-round magazines. These came with the 5-round originally. So let's go take it out. Let's do some chronology tests because they say they have claims up to, I think it's 340 feet per second on this. And that's using their kinetic, I'm assuming using their Connecticut. They didn't really say exactly, but I'm thinking they're the kinetic rounds that they are saying that with. So let's do that. They're also boasting a lighter trigger pull. So I want to test the trigger pull and the accuracy. And we're going to compare it all to the original SD model. So we're going to be shooting the SD model probably first, and then we're going to follow up with the LE model. We're going to keep going back and forth to see what the differences are. All right, hey, thanks for watching, and we'll be right back. Okay, so we got a fresh CO2 in the Byrna SD. We're going to try that first, and then we're going to switch it to the LE. And we are on fire. So we're going to pierce and shoot. So expect to see a low velocity for the first shot. Then it should pick up from there. And then we'll do the same with the LE. Let's see what happens. We're going to do 14 shots, two 7-round magazines. And I'm going to point you this way so you can see what's happening. All right, here we go. Pierce and shoot. Yeah, 174. I got to set this back up real quick. All right, pretty low number there. Shot number 2 should be a little better. Oh yeah. Okay, here we go. Duplicate. I am writing these down as I am shooting, so it's taking me a little longer. Shot 4, 279. Shot 5. And there goes that thing. 278. Good consistent numbers. $269. Last shot. $267. Okay, changing. Here we go. $265. $258. Duplicate. $257. $250. $249. Let's see, is that it? Let's see. Oh. Shot 14, $248. Okay, let's see what we got here. Gonna go right over. A high of 279. A low of 174. An average of 257. A spread of 105. And a deviation of 26. Okay. All right, let's reset this. So we're doing the same thing here with the LE. Gonna pierce and fire at the same time, see what happens. We are loaded with fresh CO2 Humorex. Here we go. Pretty low. 216. Shot number 2 should be much better. Oh yeah. 412. $355. $308. $299. $333. Next shot. $272. $279. $288. $280. $273. $272. $249. Wow. Last shot here. Duplicate. $249. All right, let's see what we got here. A high of 412. Low of 216, I think. Let me see. Average of 291. Spread of 196. And a 49 deviation. All right, there we go. Okay. Okay, so let's compare some numbers. Now, we used in both tests the 3 gram kinetics by Byrna. I believe that's what I'm basing on, is 3 grams. I'm pretty sure that's what they are. Anyhow, the Byrna SD. The first shot, of course, that's like a half power shot because you're piercing and shooting at the same time. That came out to 174 feet per second, which is 4.2 joules. And on the Byrna LE is 216, which is 6.47 joules. So that's like 1.5 times more power on the Byrna on the first pull. Second shot is 278, which is 10.71 joules, to a bursting 412 feet per second, which is 23.53 joules. That is awesome on that. Keep in mind that they only has a 340 feet per second is what they're claiming. That's very unusual that you come up with any type of pistol or rifle that is overshooting what they say it will do, because usually that's in the best case scenarios, and they've tried a million times, and that's the highest they ever got, and it's usually like 90-degree weather. I'm only shooting in 70-degree temperatures, by the way. So to hit 412 and 355 are awesome. Going down, we have 279 feet per second on the SD, 10.79 joules. And again, we're overpowering 308 feet per second at 13.15 joules. 278, which is 10.71 joules, to 299 feet per second on the LE with 12.39 joules. 269 on the SD, 10.03 joules versus 333, and still shooting at least 1.5 times over what the SD has done by 15.37 joules. Shot 7 is 267 feet per second, that's 9.88 joules, versus 272, which is 10.26. Now, if you take those 7 shots on the SD, which is one magazine, you're going to come out with an average of 260 feet per second, and that would equivalent to 9.37 joules. And if you look at the numbers, the number 278, 278, 279, 278, 269, 267, the gun, both launchers regulate unbelievable. I mean, the regulation is tremendous, especially, I would say, on the SD. This had a little bit different of fluctuation, but it's more power too, so I guess you can expect that. But in the first 7 shots here, you've got 313 feet per second and an average of 13.58 joules in those first 7 rounds. And then continue, the numbers all are very consistent in joules, with 9.23, 19.23, down to 916, and finally 853 joules and 248 feet per second. Same here, is pretty consistent. Some power differences, but not nearly hardly anything. 10.79 joules, 11.5, 10.87, 10.33, 10.26, 8.59, 8.59 in joules. At the end of the 14 rounds, you have a high of 279, which works out to 10.79 joules, a low of 174, which is that half shot, and that's 4.2 joules. The average of 257, which comes out to 9.16 joules. On 14 rounds on the LE, you've got a high of 412, which is the 23.53 joules, a low of 249, which is the 8.59. The average of 291 feet per second, which is 11.74. You had a spread of, that's your spread right there, and your deviation. You had a spread of 196, which is a big spread, and then 49 deviation. Here you had a spread of 105 with a 26 deviation. Both of these performed, very well, and I would say the LE outperformed what they said it would do, which to me, again, is pretty crazy. And again, that's based on the 3 gram kinetics. I'd also want to point out that the average of 291 over 14 shots is the highest I have ever gotten with the SD, of testing it a million times. That and usually I get 287, 288. 291 has been the absolute highest I've ever gotten on it. And here I averaged it 291 with the Byrna LE. So I would definitely say that their claim of 340 feet per second, and here I hit it 3 times over that in the first 3 shots, and I think that's pretty incredible. Anyhow, let's move on. Okay, now we're going to do some accuracy testing. We're going to start with the SD. It's all loaded up, and I just have to get it ready here. This time I'm definitely going to shoot this off here. There we go. It's all charged up. Now I'm going to put it take it off safety. And I know some people made a comment the last time I did something similar to this, that I should be in a rest position, with my arm, rested on something to get the best accuracy, which is true, absolutely undeniable. That's how you do get a much accurate assessment. But in this case, since these are more for self-defense, I want to stand up and shoot, because that's how you do it in self-defense, right? So that's my thinking anyhow. So we're going to see how accurate. This is the SD, of course, shooting right there, and we'll just see what happens here. 20 feet away. I don't know if I mentioned it, but I'm 20 feet away. Shot 1. Shot 2. Shot 3. Shot 4. Shot 5. Shot 6. Shot 7. Well, that's not too bad. Let's look at the first 7 shots. First one ended up pretty low right here, but then the rest of them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, I think we're both there. I think that's what happened anyway. All right, let's do another. Actually, let's switch it up. Now let's do the LE, and we can compare the first 7 shots with the other one. All right, let's get the law enforcement guy out here. We're going to do the same thing, put it on safety, and there we go. We should be ready to go. On fire. See what happens here. Wow, that definitely hits a lot harder. All right, let's compare these. I mean, you can definitely tell the power just by listening to the loudness. It's there. Okay, so here's the grouping with the LE, which is pretty good. That's, definitely really good. And that's the grouping with the SD. So now we're going to try the next 7 shots on this and see what happens. Might as well pick these up on my way back. All loaded up. Here we go. Well, we didn't have that shot down there, so that kind of evens things out on the next 7 shots. A little bit better here. Talk about the trigger pull, and it's very correct. I'm not sure about the first pull when you know you're piercing it and shooting it. I couldn't tell really when I was chronographing it, but in this case, when it's already punctured, this definitely has a lighter pull. You can definitely tell it does. And okay, so let's do our next 7 with the LE here. All right, here we go. So that grouping opened up a lot more over here. Probably me. I mean, I am standing up, so you know, if you compare the two, this actually this ended up being a better grouping than this one. But most likely, I'm gonna, you know, I don't want to say it's the gun. I would say mostly it's probably me. But in both cases, which one you're using, I mean, if you're going for a face shot, you're going to hit your target pretty good, or chest or whatever. They seem to be really good in that, you know, in that kind of regard. The trigger pull is much lighter, and it seems like when I was shooting it seemed to be even getting a little lighter. You know, this is not a broken in pistol at all. This is, you know, first time shooting it. So yeah, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to test the trigger pull on both of them and see how they compare. All right, so we're going to try the trigger pull. Now, the gun is empty. The cartridge is in here, but it is empty, and I'm doing that for safety reasons. And I do expect that when there's an actual projectile in there, it will be heavier. But the purpose of this test is to see if this one is lighter now in when you're pulling the trigger. So the first time I do it, this is going to be the pierce and shoot, which is the hardest pull of the pistol. So let's start with the SD first and see what that pull is. Wow, that's a tough pull. There we go. Unfortunately, it did not register. All right, let's see what the actual pull is here. I don't know why it didn't register. Let's try it again. Okay, unfortunately that did not work. But let's see if we can get it to work on this to see what the first pull is. Oh, wow. That is lighter. 12.6 pounds. 12.6 pounds. 5.7 kilograms, I guess. All right, let's go back. See what the next pull is here. 11 pounds. And the LE model. Wow, that's much. 4.6 pounds. What a difference. Wow. Let's go back here again. Definitely harder. $11.6 pounds. Wow, that is so much easier. 4.4 pounds. 12.4 pounds. But look at how easy this goes. Look at how that 4.6, consistently 4.6. So to recap this and to close this whole thing out with the brand new Byrna, is it worth purchasing this even if you have the SD model? Yeah, it is. I mean, you're getting a lot more power out of it. And you have to think of it as this way. You're not just getting power out of it. If you're using the chemicals in it, which is exactly what I purchased this for. Obviously, the power, the joules, you know, is not what you're using this for, because it doesn't have enough takedown power. But mixed with the chemicals, yeah, it's you know, and you've got to figure with the added amount of feet per second and joules, it's going to hit and is going to disperse a cloud by far greater than what the SD model is doing. So yeah, that is definitely, in my mind, it is worth purchasing it. If you have the SD, it's still a great model. I love it still, but I will be carrying the SD. Now, I know what a lot of you fans are going to say, and rightfully so, and I'm not disrespecting it, but the HDR, of course, and you're using like these type of bullets in them. These as DEEZ, I believe they are, and the Z ones and whatever. I can't carry them in New York State, and there's a lot of states that you can't carry it to begin with. But then, and these do have a lot of takedown, and so does like the FSC also has a huge amount of takedown. But if you shoot somebody and you have the Byrnas are made for less lethal, and I think when you look at the laws, how the laws are put together, I think they're going to go a little easier on you because you're using something that's not modified, where you have modified your HDRs and your HDP 50s and what have you to get the power. These are coming at you with the power, and you're doing no modifications, and they are recognized by law enforcement a little bit more because they also use them or have used them in the past. So these are considered launchers, and again, we can't use anything like this, you know, in upstate New York. So I think, yes, you're getting the better joules out of it and more power and all that stuff, but here you're getting less power but more chemicals, and the practicality, if you do defend yourself, that also could be, you know, a part of what you are looking at. So for myself, and the other great thing about this is the pierce and shoot, for a self-defense where you don't have to, you know, hit anything, or, you know, you just pick it up and you fire away. And now that the trigger is much lighter, I think that's also a fantastic thing. And they really improved this model. I am impressed with it. I mean, the trigger pull is, as you've seen, by far much better. So yeah, in every way, I think what they've said they were going to do, they did. And yeah, it gets my thumbs up. Hey, thanks for watching, guys. And if you like this type of content, please like and subscribe, because this is what I do. Hey, thanks for watching.